Bourbon. Belts. Blockbusters. You are listening to the Triple B Podcast. Let's fucking go.
Welcome back to another episode of the Triple B Podcast, Bourbon, Belts, and Blockbusters.
Hell yeah.
I'm Tim.
I'm Ryan.
And this is the show where we sip on some bourbon,
Hell yeah.
talk about some wrestling,
Hell yeah.
and then we talk about Blockbusters.
Yeah.
Yeah. Episode 27 coming at you now.
Ooh yeah.
We had a busy couple weeks here.
We did, yes.
It was
Spankin' we did.
Thanksgiving, run up to Vancouver, come back down, have a day in between, run to Raw.
Not a very long day in between because it took us fucking forever to get home from Canada. We didn't get home till like 4.
Yeah, it was, that was quite the
So we had an evening and then work and then we turned around and drove back to Everett for Raw. So...
yeah, man.
Yeah.
Excited to be back.
yeah, absolutely. A couple good wrestling shows that we got to witness within about 48 hours of each other. So that was dope.
It was indeed.
We got the bonus episode where we talked about Survivor Series WarGames out now, so go ahead and check that out for us.
Hell yeah.
And then, episode
Perfect.
27 today.
Here we go.
This week is my cash in for the bourbon. So what we have here is we have the Yellowstone Select. All right. It is from, I forget the Limestone. That's right. Limestone Branch Distillery Co. And it says it's a 7th generation family distillers. And I want to just read the little back blurb here. So it says, in 2010, my family and I founded Limestone Branch Distillery with the intention of crafting only the finest whiskey and the dream of restoring the Yellowstone brand to its former glory. In the spring of 2015, over a century after our great-grandfather, MC Beam, sold his distillery to Yellowstone, that dream came true. To celebrate this family reunion of sorts, we bring you Yellowstone Select Kentucky Straight Bourbon. To the nose, it's leather with hints of citrus and oak. On the tongue, it's spicy rye with soft cherries fading to smoked caramel. And a memorable finish, rich with brown sugar and Kentucky tradition. Enjoy.
And I would love to enjoy.
Yes, I would as well. Honestly, the prime reason why I saw that I got this one, I got it at Safeway. It was like regular tag price was like $47.99. It was on sale for $37.99.
Nice.
So I walked out like $48. And I've had my eye on this one for a while, but I wanted to wait until I was in the heat of watching the new and final season of Yellowstone. So
there you go.
I've been watching Yellowstone on Sundays when it's been coming out.
Mm-hmm.
And so I was like, you know what? We're right in the heat of it. I'm doing the Yellowstone to celebrate that. So
Perfect. Just a reminder, we do the live reveal of the bourbon on our TikTok now, so that will be coming out
today.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, should be coming out today.
Perfect. Let's get to it, man.
All right, here we go. Let's test her out, see how it is.
Cheers, brother.
Look at the legs on that.
You must work out.
I'm going to be honest with you. That was actually surprisingly good to me. I didn't have the highest of hopes. I don't know why. I just didn't.
Yeah.
But that's actually pretty good.
Yeah. I agree. I think pretty solid. I was pleasantly surprised. So
yeah. Especially for it being, again, 9 o'clock in the morning. We're not alcoholics, people. We promise. We just we have lives and we have shit going on. And this is just we're fitting in filming when we can. So, and it just happens to be we keep doing the Bourbon on the Rocks episodes on the weekends when we have shit going on.
The best part of waking up is bourbon in your cup.
I laughed so hard when you sent me that last night. I was like, that's fucking great. What are you going with?
I'm going with an 8.
Okay.
Yeah. Honestly, it's good. It's solid.
Yeah.
It's not Jefferson at the ocean.
It is not.
But again, it's pretty smooth to me, honestly. It does pack a little punch at the end there, but No, I really enjoy it. Something that we can easily sip on.
Yeah, and like reading the I'm going with a 7. So right up there too. I think it's good. It's quality. Definitely could sip on this, but it's probably not cracking like my top 5 or anything like that. But after reading the little blurb on the back, I enjoy doing that because then when you taste it, like I can actually taste like the things that they're saying.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not a bourbon connoisseur to the point of where I could just taste it and be like, yes, the notes, right? Like that's not what I'm just not good at that.
Yeah.
But when I read it and then I taste it, then I'm like, oh yeah, I can see what they're saying, right? Like I can definitely like start to make that connection and kind of do that, corresponding with what I read to then what I'm feeling and tasting on my tongue. So definitely had the little bit more of like the lighter citrusy in the front with then the kind of smokiness, but then it definitely has like the sweeter kick on the backside. So,
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Awesome.
Sweet.
Great. Good to go. You can find us on our socials pretty regularly at TripBPod on Instagram, X, YouTube, and TikTok. We are on Spotify, Apple, and Amazon Podcasts, Triple B Podcast, Bourbon, Bells, and Blockbusters. And our Gmail is triplebpod619@gmail.com. Hit us up, comment, like, share, follow, subscribe. Write us letters. I'm just kidding. Well, we didn't give you our actual address, but
let's get social.
Yeah. We want to interact. So go ahead and hit us up.
Yeah.
All right. We are to our bourbon talking points, and we started a few weeks ago. We started with a weekly fact check of the previous episode. So this week it is my turn. We don't have a lot.
Okay. We did talk through everything pretty quickly on that last episode.
We did. So. Yes, it was a pretty quick episode just because of, again, our circumstances of having to drive up to Vancouver, and we want to make sure we were on time for the show, of which we were.
We got there right in time.
We did. It was great. So looks like I got 2, 4, 6, 8 things total.
Okay. Not
7
bad.
from episode 26, 1 from the bonus episode.
Okay.
It was really the only thing I had heard or noticed that I was like, that's kind of worth going through on the bonus episode, because most of that was really just us reviewing the show, right? So it wasn't a ton of stuff to fact check. But starting with, we talked last week about like the Seahawks football as we do weekly, and I had said something along the lines of like Seattle's like in like the top 2 for passing offense. And we are number 2 in passing yards per game, behind only the Bengals. And then just throw this in there, Geno Smith is actually the number 3 quarterback in the league in total passing yards right now, behind Joe Burrow and Lamar Jackson.
Wow.
I had said, just talking about like how our defense had been playing well over the last month or so. We had really like shut down run games, and I had said we had held the Niners. I thought, and I think we both kind of agreed and thought that we had held the Niners to under 100 yards rushing. We did not actually. We held McCaffrey to under 100. We held McCaffrey to, I think it was like 79 yards. But the total team, the Niners rushed for a 131, which is still significantly better than what we had been giving up in the earlier half of the season. But 40 of those were on Purdy quarterback scrambles.
Oh, okay.
So yes, that goes under the rushing thing, but I should have, I guess, reiterated what I was meaning on that episode was we have been shutting down like the organized rushing attacks.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Quarterback scrambles, yes, you don't want to give those up either, but that falls under that category, but that's not like a designed play.
Okay.
So, but yeah, so I was wrong on that. Women's U.S. tournament conclusion. We thought it was at Saturday night's main event. We were correct, but we kind of like said it with a question mark. So I just wanted to clarify. Yes, the finals will be this coming Friday on, I guess, what would be considered the go-home episode before Saturday night's main event.
Yeah.
And then the actual finals will take place at Saturday night's main event.
Okay.
We have so we had talked about like when the Royal Rumble is, if there's another PLE in between. We couldn't remember.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
So I just looked that up. So there is Saturday night's main event on December 14th. Yes, thank you. And then we also have another Saturday night's main event on January 25th.
Oh, really?
Yes, they're going to do another one in January, late January, and then the Royal Rumble is February 1st.
Wow.
So
Okay.
yeah, so it's going to be January 25th. Is I'm assuming that's about the right time frame to it be like the Saturday, and then the next Saturday is the Royal Rumble. So
Nice.
again, we weren't really sure if Saturday
Yeah.
night's main event is, and I didn't really find anything specific to say yes, Saturday night's main event is considered a PLE now, or just another live show just on a Saturday, or what it is.
The way they're building the card for
I
this
know, it
one,
looks like a
it feels
PLE.
like a
It
PLE.
definitely
So
feels like a PLE. So
I would say so.
Yeah,
and it's a
so that's why I
Saturday.
wanted to throw that in. It's on a Saturday, so there is technically another PLE between now and
Royal
two
Rumble.
more technically between now and Royal Rumble.
Perfect.
It's just interesting that they're both Saturday night's main event.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
there's not like a different one before the next of the big four, because it was literally, that means we're going from SummerSlam, or not SummerSlam, goddammit, Survivor Series, which is one of the big four,
Yeah.
to then back-to-back Saturday night's main events, and then the next of the big four.
Yeah,
So it's kind of an interesting lineup, but I mean the card for this not obviously not today, but next week is
Yeah.
pretty fucking crazy. So.
Yeah, it is.
The other thing a couple things we had talked about that I just couldn't find anything to, and I just didn't want to like say them on the episode and then blow past it like I just didn't think about it.
Yeah.
I did. I tried to find them. The last time that the United States and Intercontinental Championship were defended on the same PLE, I couldn't find it. I spent like a half hour scouring Google to try to find this in people's Reddit thread. Like I was deep and I couldn't find it. So
Did they not defend both on WrestleMania? Would you count that as one PLE, even though it's split into two nights? Because I know there was Logan Paul versus
I didn't even think about the 2-night thing.
KO and
I didn't even think about the 2-night thing. Who was the IC at that point? I don't remember.
oh, it was Gunther and
he
Sammy.
lost to Sammy.
Yeah, so it wasn't in the same night. It was, I think one was one night, the other was the other.
Yeah, okay. I guess that's true. I didn't even think about WrestleMania being 2 nights, right? So I guess that technically would be at the same PLE, even though they are separate nights.
Yeah.
So there we go.
There we go.
WarGames Advantage matches. You just kind of said in passing, kind of in that episode, that you were like, I don't even know that like if a face has ever won an Advantage match. Going into it, because Bianca won, right?
Yeah.
And so that was kind of a shock to us. I couldn't find I couldn't find like a lineup of Advantage matches. Those
Gotcha.
aren't apparently well documented or whatever.
Gotcha.
So I just didn't I couldn't find if that had happened before. I tried,
Okay.
but I couldn't find it. And then the other thing I even mentioned on the episode that I wasn't going to try to fact check because I thought it would be too hard, but then I said, you know what, I'm going to at least give it my valiant effort, and I couldn't find anything because it was too hard, was if a luchador's mask has ever been flipped around.
yeah.
I'm sure it has happened at like maybe house shows or maybe other, brands of wrestling, indie circuit, stuff like that. Maybe. I don't remember it ever happening in WWE.
Yeah.
It could have. I mean, we're talking, decades and decades, so I don't know. But I couldn't find anything. Then the one from the bonus episode. We had talked about, kind of got on the conversation of like Cody versus Reigns as workhorse champions, all of that. I wanted to just get some numbers behind this. Roman Reigns from 2020, and now this is this is counting when he originally became the champ. So this is counting when Roman originally won just the individual title through unification and then through losing it to Cody at WrestleMania. Okay, so he defended the title from September of 2020 to April of 2024, which is 3.5 years. It's literally 3 years, 6 months, 31 times. Which, when you break it down, that's about 8.8 defenses a year.
Okay.
Okay.
Almost 9, yeah.
Cody, after next Saturday, will have defended it 7 times since capturing the title in April. So in 8 months, he's defended it 7 times. But that's just on PLEs and 1 SmackDown.
Yeah.
That's not counting how many house shows, how many dark matches and stuff that he has also put the title up against, which I know Roman did do some of that, but he did not and has not done nearly as many house. Cody has done like every house show. Mm-hmm. Cody has been on multiple dark matches. You know what I mean? So, so when you break it down that way, on average, little under 9 defenses a year for Roman during his whole 1,300 day reign or whatever it was, and then Cody's had it for 8 months. And he will have defended it 7 times. So pretty comparable.
Comparable, but
however,
Cody's on a faster pace right now.
If you were to have had him win it in January, I would put money on the fact that he would have probably defended it at least 1, if not 2 more times in that amount of time. So to really be able to get a full better sample size and look at it, we need to hope that Cody holds the title for all of 2025. To then be able to really break it down. But I just was curious because we've had that conversation before, and I was like, it's worth just looking at and noting. So,
and it sounds
and that was all I had. Was just that. So, multiple of them weren't. They're really just more clarifications, or just kind of like, we were right about that. I think there was 2 actual fact checks. So,
sweet.
All right,
that goes on to football, baby.
Yeah, dog.
We watched part of this game in Canada, and then the other half at the border. Well, we didn't watch. We listened.
Yes, we watched the worst part of the game live on the TV at the restaurant at the hotel, and then we got to listen
to the better
half in the car.
The Seahawks beat the Jets 26-21. They are now 7-5, still leading our division right now. That first half, though. Special teams disaster.
Yes, absolutely, man. We had 3 muffed kick returns. 2 of them we lost. D. Williams fumbled once. Laviska Shenault Jr. fumbled twice. He lost 1 of them. But the first one that he fumbled, he ended up getting tackled at the 10-yard line after he recovered it. So it was still really setting us up for really shitty field position. We also gave up a 99-yard kick return on special teams, and we had the PAT from our first touchdown blocked.
Yeah, that's right.
So it's just or no, I guess it wasn't the first touchdown. It was the pick 6. But still, it was just oh my God. Yeah, it was a disaster. We also had Michael Dixon, our punter, was having back spasms, so that set us up, which actually ended up working out for the better. But in general, we ended up essentially not being able to punt. So we were going for it on 4th down, which worked out for us. Mm-hmm. But in general, that's not the position you want to be in. Going for it on 4th and 6 from inside your own 40, not ideal. In a game where it's you have a chance, but and this is also we're at the point right now where most every game we play is we have to win this game type of thing. So because our division is just so close.
I think I saw that we let go of Williams too.
Yes, we cut both, or waived, I guess. Cut's a little more too aggressive maybe. We waived both Laviska Shenault Jr. and D. Williams, and then we signed another person to our practice squad. Or we claimed him off waivers. I don't know if that means he goes straight to our roster or not. That might have to be a fact check next week. I don't know if when you claim somebody off waivers, if that goes straight to your active roster, if you can put them on the practice squad, or how that works. But we did sign somebody else that apparently was from the Browns that has done special teams returning duties. But other than that, I'm McIntosh, but he's fumbled already this year on returns. I read an article that saying Charbonnet could be back there to return kicks, and I was like,
JSN really wanted to be
JSN
there.
really wanted to, and I wouldn't hate that, but I also am that's a quite a
weapon.
liability. But I've also thought fuck it, Metcalf. Put Metcalf big ass back there. He's fast as fuck, and he'll run motherfucker over. But he'd also probably get hurt, so it's I don't really want that to happen. But it would be kind of
a little banged up this year.
Yeah, so I don't know. It's gonna be interesting to see. We also
back there.
We also signed another punter to our practice squad, so I'm not sure necessarily what that means in terms of, because Michael Dixon has still been on the injury report with the back issue, so we'll see how that plays out going into tomorrow. Defense played fucking fantastic again, though.
They did.
They gave up 1 actual true drive that ended in a touchdown. And it was, the Jets put together an actual full drive. It was the first score that they had to go up 7-0. And then on the ensuing kickoff is where D. Williams fumbled it like at the 25, or it was like inside our own 30, gave them great field position. They ended up going, the 30 or less yards to then score again to go up 14-0. Other than that, outside of that, our defense held the Jets offense scoreless for over 3 quarters. The only other score that the Jets had was on that 99-yard kick return that our special teams gave up. So our defense fucking played great. We only gave up 89 rushing yards. Leonard fucking Williams, again, fucking beast. He had 2 sacks. He had a blocked PAT. He had a fucking 92-yard interception return for a touchdown, which is the longest interception return for a touchdown that anybody in the history of the NFL has had over 300 pounds.
Oh, wow.
Which is fucking wild. That man, and he was they clocked him at like over 17 miles an hour running on that fucking play. It was crazy. And he had a fucking platoon of dogs around him making sure he was getting that bitch in the end zone too. It was such a cool team play to see and watch.
And it was really the turning point of the game.
That was
right
really
there.
like, it was that, because we were down, like they were driving, because that was right after Chenault's second fumble that resulted in a turnover on the kick return, and they were inside the 20. Like he picked it at the 8-yard line, right? So like they're in the red zone, getting ready to try to score to potentially go up 28-7.
Yeah.
Right, so like that's
daunting
where you're
in
like,
a away game.
And then I mean that was a fucking huge swing, because then that made it 21-13 with the PAT getting blocked.
Yeah,
but that turns it from a potential 21-point game to an 8-point game.
Yeah,
right. So huge play, and that sparked everything. Like got the whole team ready to roll. So
fun fact. Aaron Rodgers before this game was 75-0.
Yes, he was, being
up 14 points. And we're that now one loss in that.
Yep. And I also read another one that Aaron Rodgers in his career has only lost, I think it had been only lost 11 games. No, had only lost 10 games when winning by 11 points. At some point in the game. He had only lost 10 of those games.
Wow.
And 3 of them are to Seattle. 3 of the losses are to Seattle.
He hates us.
Yeah. Yeah, so it was the 2014 NFC Championship game.
Yeah.
And then it was I don't remember what week it was, but it was in 2020. And then this last week.
One.
Wow. Yeah, because they were up 14-0 and 21-7.
Yeah.
Out 2 different points in that game, and so 14-point differences at 2 different points, and we still ended up coming back and winning.
Yeah.
The offense was good enough. Our run game is still fucking horrendous. They got to figure that shit out. And that's a whole other thing that I could talk for, but I'm not going to do that. JSN continues to show out, man, having big plays, big catches, big time moments. He had another 74 yards. He's on pace for over 1,000 yards in the season, I believe.
He's coming up clutch.
It is. He is, man, and he's like, it's crazy to say this or even think this when you have DK Metcalf and also Tyler Lockett on the team. Tyler Lockett has, for the most part, been almost like a non-factor in the offense for the last few weeks. He's come up with a couple really important catches here and there, but nothing like what he used to do. But I think that's okay.
Like you said while we were watching the game, I think we talked about this, where you're like, that just allows him to get open
exactly
randomly.
Like when you have 2 other receivers that are drawing all of the attention, that is when now Tyler Lockett gets to play that old school Larry Fitzgerald for the Cardinals type of role, right? Where it's like, okay, we don't need to send Tyler Lockett deep anymore. Let him just find an open gap, because he's a very savvy vet that can do that. Let him just find an open gap, catch the ball, and lay down. Yeah, he's the best at doing that, and so I think that's okay. And he did that a couple times in that game against the Jets too. So, but it's just wild to think that you have somebody potentially on this team that is the number 1 receiver that's not DK Metcalf. Yeah. But JSN right now is fucking balling. So
he's coming up in
and
every big
you
moment.
alluded to as well, is the fact that DK's been playing somewhat injured. So Yeah, we got to get the goddamn run game going. Once you start to establish a run game, that opens up everything else now for the rest of the offense.
Yeah.
We can't continue to be. I read some metrics this week that are like since week 7, we're dead last in DVOA for rushing attack, and our passing attack is mediocre.
Yeah.
Based off those metrics. And it's like, since week 7, our defense is the fucking thing that's carrying us right now, which is crazy to think of when you have the talent that we have on offense.
Yeah.
So, again, I'm not going to get into the whole spiel of it, but there is a coaching problem on the offense side of the ball right now, and they need to figure it out. So, got the Cardinals tomorrow in arguably the biggest matchup of the season, because we're 7-5. The Cardinals are 6-6. We're in Arizona. If we win this game, we go to 8-5, and it's not obvious, especially with the stretch run of our schedule. It's not like a automatic at that point. Like, we're not clinching anything, but we go 2 games up in the division.
Yeah.
Over the Cardinals at least. The Rams are playing the Bills this week. The Niners are fucking dog shit and depleted, and just it's bad for them right now.
They're getting hit hard.
Yeah, and so it's just kind of like, if we win this game, I think it was like our percentage of likelihood to make the playoffs skyrockets, right? It jumps significantly. If we lose this game, it drops significantly too, because the Cardinals' next 2 games after this are the fucking Patriots and the Panthers. Yeah. And then they end with the Rams and the Niners, I believe. And then we go Packers, Vikings, Bears, Rams. So it's like we have a little bit of a gauntlet for sure. The Packers game is probably the most worrisome.
Yeah.
The Vikings have been very Chief-like in the sense of like they keep winning games and their record's really good, but they don't look great while doing it in the second half of the year. So that's like, I think, a winnable game if our defense stays how they're playing. The Bears, hopefully, should be a win, but it's who knows with all the coaching changes and shit. Tomorrow's game is a fucking must-win, though, for sure. And
a lot of tough defenses coming up.
Absolutely.
Is really what it is. But I think we got this. I do too. We got tomorrow. And, yeah, we got to just kind of replicate what we did last game and just stop the run and force Kyler to throw, and that's where he's not always the greatest. So
he tends to make poor decisions when he's put under pressure. So we got to just hope for that. Hope our defense keeps balling, and hope for a little bit of a turnaround on the offensive side of things and start to kind of reestablish identity there. But yeah. We got our wellness journey check in number 8. How you doing? Where are we at, Timmy?
I didn't gain, didn't lose.
Okay.
I stayed flat. Kind of a win just with Thanksgiving and us going out of town, but I am a little disappointed this time. I thought for sure we gained some traction, but it's just not making enough time for what is needed to lose the weight. So that's on me. But again, there was major portion control going on Thanksgiving.
Yeah, same.
Unlike previous years, which
I had 1 plate.
Yeah, same here.
I usually carry 2 plates to the table.
Yeah,
I had 1 plate.
So that was a win in itself.
Technically, that was a lie. I did carry technically 2 plates, but it was because I didn't want my sweet potato, my yams, touching everything else.
Oh, yeah.
So it was just a little side plate with just a little scoop of sweet potato on it. That was the second plate. Yeah. But anyways, didn't want to feel like I was lying.
But no, that's where I'm at. Just no gain, no loss. Would like to start seeing some losses in the column. It's been 3 weeks since that. So, or 3 check-ins, I should say. Sorry. Just this time of the year is busy. The challenges is just, it's super busy with work, with the holidays and everything. And then we were also, going up to Vancouver, going to Everett.
Yeah,
and
for sure.
Jeff definitely gets the schedule in a wonkiness there, but I'm proud that it wasn't a gain though. So
yeah, absolutely, man. No gain is better than nothing, right? So I'm at 232 flat, which is a loss.
Nice.
Especially because I had gone back up a little bit.
Yeah.
And I think some of the going back up and the fluctuation within that is like water weight and stuff too. So I think like some of that is a little more fluid and it will kind of bounce a little bit. But yeah, the lowest I'd gotten before we kind of had hit this plateau together and got up a little bit was 232.4. So I was 232 flat even. And yeah, so I've did, you know, a little under, it was like 0.4 of a pound from the lowest I had been, but probably about a pound since I did I don't remember exactly what it was when I went up. I think I was right about 233.
Gotcha.
But yeah, so not huge, but it's still a little progress.
There you go.
I am getting slowly back into kind of ramping up. We're also trying to just figure out time frames for Lindsay to also get into the gym and stuff now that she's done with the real estate class and all that.
Yeah.
And she's still trying to, you know, study for the exam and all our daughter and then, you know, work and dinners and like just everything. So we're trying to balance it all.
Nice.
Which again is just, you know, whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Sweet.
Yeah. Cool. Well, Timmy, I have a surprise. We're doing a surprise segment. I've wanted to do this, and me and Lindsay actually did this. So, full disclosure, I have done this already, but I'm going to redo it with you.
Okay.
I've been seeing this on TikTok a lot.
Okay.
A bunch of the podcasts I follow. I don't know what's going on with my voice. My voice keeps going in and out. But there's this thing called the Final Boss Sour Challenge.
Oh.
So we're going to drink bourbon hella early, and we're going to do this sour candy challenge hella early, all right? And it's sour candy. It's actual fruit.
Okay.
Right, so it is actual fruit. We have 3 different flavors, and there are 3 levels in each flavor, and we're going to do all of them. All right? But we're not going to do them all just like right here, right now.
Yeah.
What I thought was we'll do one before each of the next things that, like, each time we do a slide, we'll do one.
Okay.
So we'll just pop it, and then we'll do the reactions, and then we'll just get into what we're going to talk about. I thought it would be fun. It would be a new little wrinkle for the show for this week.
All right. So, I like it.
Because we already did this, or I've already done this, sorry. We're going to go level 1, level 1, level 1, level 2, level 2, level 2, level 3, level 3, level 3, and we're going to start with cranberry, blueberry, strawberry. We're going to go in that order each time we bump to levels.
Okay.
Okay? So, very first one is going to be the level 1 cranberry. Okay?
Okay.
And we can, as soon as I pull this out, we'll jump into our next
slide.
Here. Yeah. Sorry, this might be a little bit of a...
Hey.
But we're going to make it work.
We're going to make it work.
All right. So like I said, it is actual fruit. It's just kind of like a dried fruit with a coat, like a powdered coating on it.
Gotcha.
I'm already salivating. But anyways, Timmy, that brings us to belts. All right, like I said, with the sour candy challenge on the show, each time we go to a new, our next topic, essentially, there are 9 of these. We have 10 things, so I think we're just gonna we're gonna couple son of a bitch, banger of the week, and what do you want to talk about? So we'll do one for what do you want to talk about and banger of the week all together, and then we'll do one for each thing after that.
Gotcha.
Okay? Here's your portion.
All right.
And there's my portion. Okay, you ready? This is level 1 cranberry. Okay,
right.
Let's cheers.
Cheers, man.
Cheers. Level 1 cranberry is not terrible.
Not terrible.
Or how are you? I wouldn't even ask. How are you with sour stuff?
I do okay. It looks like I'm struggling, though.
I just smacked my head on your fucking bookshelf. All right.
Okay, not too bad on that one.
And I actually kind of like the flavor of that one. But, all right.
It gets my eyes wincing a little bit. Ryan, before I ask you this question, we're just going to talk about how we went to Monday Night Raw. You know?
Okay, yeah.
You know, because,
sure.
Chaser, we got to go down to Everett, Angels of the Wind Arena, and go see Monday Night Raw.
Absolutely.
and it was the show after Survivor Series. I will say the matches weren't great. There was
it was, I think, and I don't know that. Okay, yeah, the triple threat match. I'm sorry, it was not great.
It kind of rallied towards the end, but no, I watched it back, and I agree with you.
Yeah, and full disclosure, I did not watch it back, and I went and got an ice cream cone during that because I thought that was the best moment in the show to do so. But Nathan and his girlfriend Talia were there with us as well. They started like the first full hour of Raw only had 2 matches.
Yeah.
And it was the triple threat and then the tag match.
Yeah.
So it was both representation of the women's division, which was cool.
Yeah.
I did like that, but just the matches weren't that strong.
No.
So it was kind of like, yeah, great representation, but then it was also like a letdown because it's like, that's how you're representing it.
Yeah.
It's like, fuck, man, come on.
I will say the matches weren't great, but this was really an episode of developing the stories and you got that at the show, but I think rewatching it, you can really see a lot of the stories developing through this night. Well, and for that, I thought it was a great night.
It was high emotion in multiple of the things, and like almost every promo on the night was gold.
Yes,
almost every 100%. Single one, maybe every one of them. Like I can't even think back to one that was kind of a letdown. Even really, like most of everything. Well, maybe the Karrion Kross was like okay.
Even that I'll give it.
You like okay, cool.
I liked it.
It was just live, and it's harder live when we're there because it's like there's everyone's yelling, and it's like you're missing moments of it because it's just up on the screen. So like that does make it harder live.
Yeah,
but I thought the promos and all that stuff were fucking really good.
Yeah, sure.
It was pretty cool.
For sure. Just wanted to get that out of the way.
Absolutely.
So, Ryan, what do you want to talk about?
I want to talk about the New Day, man. We've been talking about it for a while. We got to see this live. It was the 10-year anniversary of the New Day, and they come out and they essentially start to lay the groundwork for legit breakup, which is like it looked like they were mutually going to. And then you get Big E coming out, and Big E's like talking to him like, no, like what like I'm from now on I'm gonna be here, like I'm with you guys, I'm gonna be your manager, like all this stuff. And they fucking just straight turn
switch
on Big E, and like to the point where we were actually like, they're gonna fucking attack Big E right now. Like we legit thought they were going to attack Big E, who's not medically cleared from the neck from a broken neck yet. But they really, like, it was a real personal feeling. They went hard on it. It felt real. It felt raw. It felt like, I don't know. It was just like, and the whole crowd was like turned on the New Day and were chanting "New Day sucks" after.
Yeah.
I loved every second of it.
Oh, 100%. I think this is what was needed.
They needed it. But the one thing that I am a little concerned about and a little confused is, was this the groundwork for a breakup, or what? Because they they locked hands, Kofi and Xavier, after Big E walked away.
Yeah.
So was this a heel turn for them and they're staying together, or are they just done and just, you know what I mean? So it's like a lot of questions still, I think. So
I think it's a heel turn. I think they stay together, and
I hope so.
Yeah.
I really do. I hope so, because they're too good together, and them as heels, we have never seen that.
We kind of got it when they first debuted.
I guess, yeah.
But it quickly turned.
But it was, quickly turned into what they have been for the last 10 years, which is essentially like a comedic, happy-go-lucky, fun, bouncy, bubbly group.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? And really nostalgic and childhood-like essences about them and stuff. And it looks like we could get a dark side of them, and I hope they stay together for that exact reason. So that's what I want. That's why I wanted to mention them.
No, I agree. I think that promo was well done. Everything led up to what we thought. Even to right before Big E comes out, we're like, oh, they are splitting up, and then his music hits, and then it just totally turned. Yeah. And I know we were in the crowd and everything, and but I was just glued to the promo.
Absolutely. And it's a testament to the promo in and of itself to be in the crowd and feel just feel the energy shift so much from the fans.
Yes.
In the building.
Yeah.
And, because like Big E, like they're getting ready to, and then they set it up for Big E to come out, and you think they're like he's gonna talk them out of it, and they're gonna stick together, and it's gonna be this reuniting of the OG New Day, and they're all together again, and it was like 180, and you just didn't really see that coming at that point. Like, you thought they were gonna break up, totally saw that coming. They've been planting those seeds, and then this, and then it was just like, oh shit, he's gonna get them to stay together, and then it was like, oh fuck, nope, that ain't happening. And it was one thing when it was Xavier saying now, because that's kind of just been Xavier's little kind of shitty attitude,
but when
right?
Kofi
then Kofi like turned, and I was like, oh fuck.
And then when he was like, Stone Cold broke his neck, and
Kurt Angle broke his neck.
I was just like, damn.
I know, it was like, oh my god, man.
Do you think Big E is going to be on the outs from here on out? Do you think he joins the dark side with them and manages them through this?
I don't know, man. I think that's part of all those. That's just the questions that I was saying I still have with all this. Is I don't know.
What was crazy was, like, I was thinking I want them to stick together, maybe do the heel turn, and I know we've talked about that, but then when he said he was going to manage it, I was like, yes, like, I was excited for that. I was like, stay together, make him the manager, and then that happened, and then I got even more excited. You're still like,
okay, fuck you, It's just like, yes, even more yes. So very
well done segment.
I thought it was awesome.
The payoff, I know we dogged on it for a long time, was just how long it was playing out.
Yes, we did. Yeah,
but
for sure.
The payoff seems to be great.
Yes, it seems to be on a steep incline here, so I'm excited about that.
Yeah.
What do you got?
Drew McIntyre returning at the end of the night, attacking Sami Zayn. This is going to be kind of a grouped thing, but
that was my next one too.
But Drew returning, attacking Sami Zayn. I'm assuming he's the one that attacked Jey Uso in the back.
Assumptions, yes.
But I could be wrong. But I'm very mad at whoever did, because it prevented us from yeeting
we didn't
all
get
over.
to yeet live again. I wanted to yeet live twice within 24 or 48 hours. That's what I wanted to do, and I wanted to yeet with my brother.
Yes,
I wanted to yeet. I wanted
to
yeet all over him and his girlfriend. That's what I wanted to do.
But maybe, would you say, maybe possibly there is a faction forming called the He-Man Roman Haters?
He-Man Roman
or Roman Haters Mount Up. It seems,
I don't know why it took me a second to catch the He-Man Roman Hater.
But
fucking Little Rascals.
Yep.
I hit my head again. Why am I so close to this today?
But it seems like potentially there could be a group forming that is a Roman Hater group, and it's Drew,
Kevin,
KO, and Seth. And
Seth, yeah.
I'm sure there's more that could join, but
I don't know. Maybe potentially that would.
There's a lot of storyline building around you teaming up with Roman.
Yeah, there is a ton. Yeah, absolutely.
Drew,
around all three of them.
Drew has beef with Roman. Seth does.
I feel like
KO.
Drew, though. I feel like Drew's beef doesn't have anything to do with Roman. Realistically, I feel like it's CM Punk. It's the fact that they teamed with CM Punk. I think that's where that stems from. But that's also part of Seth's issue too, is them teaming with CM Punk as well.
Yeah,
his is like a twofer. CM Punk and Roman. I feel like Drew's is more CM Punk and KO's is Roman. So.
Yeah. I mean, the He-Man Roman Haters has a good round to it.
I like the He-Man Roman Haters too, for sure. So anything we can do to sway that into, or to kind of wish that into fruition, that would be great.
It was a kind of a disappointing end to the Sami Seth match, just because it was a great match, and then it ends with this roll up. But to have Drew come out and be a surprise return was awesome.
Because that was legit shocking. Like, we both, because we've talked about this before, I think we were both pretty set on the fact that Drew's probably going to return when Raw goes to Netflix.
Yeah.
And so, but I did read that Bronson Reed getting injured
put a wrench in things.
Sped up Drew coming back earlier.
Yeah.
So I think that was the original plan was for Drew to come
WarGames
back.
Had a lot of injuries.
Three injuries, that are keeping people out now. So
I mean, how much was Tongaloa in? So
yeah, that's true. That is true. That one makes sense. I feel like Punk may have done that one on purpose. Like, you need to fucking be done. Take this goddamn toolbox to the bicep, you bitch. That was my. Did you see the fucking? This isn't actually one of my talking points, but the replay, because it was like everything I had seen. I was like, yeah, Bronson Reed kind of hit feet first, but the replay they showed on SmackDown, I was like, oh my god, it looked like he broke his ankle. I was like, how was that just his foot? Yeah, his whole fucking foot turned sideways from that eye, and he's a big. I was like, oh my lord. But anyways, I digress. I wanted to talk. My next thing I want to talk about is the apparent transfer portal.
That's what I got too.
Opening. And my point of this is, I think it is. Have they done this before? Have they done transfer portal before?
No, they have not.
Okay, so that I didn't think so, and I was like, seems a little suspicious that they're opening it up right before Raw goes to Netflix, and that's because Netflix wants all these fucking people, and I talked about that to you on, I think it was the drive up to either Raw or Canada, I can't remember. It was on one of our 2 road trips this last week.
Before we go to, can we talk about how much Netflix was promoted in last night's?
Oh my god!
It was like every other second
but it was also abrupt too. Yeah, like it wasn't like it was like a fade to black and then it starts like to a commercial break. It was just like it would be like and then it was like as soon as the sentence ended, it just popped up. Raw is Netflix, which I'm like, I'm not hating on by any means. Like that's their job, is to promote the fact that like WWE, like this is the biggest move.
Yeah.
Ever.
I would say. I mean, I would say the WWE Network was a pretty big jump. It wasn't like moving a show off cable TV. Yeah. But I thought that was like big.
But this is definitely bigger than that too, right? Because this is moving your
longest,
your longest running episodic show to a streaming service that has only ever done one live event. Was it the boxing match? Or I think they've done maybe another
a roast or something.
Well, they did the Tom Brady roast, but they did another live comedy thing, but sporting event, I guess.
Oh yeah,
what I should have said. I want to say they did like some form of like a race, like a NASCAR race, or like they did something live as well. But anyways, it's a huge move.
Yeah,
regardless. So it makes sense that they're promoting it so much. But the transfer portal, I was like, oh, that's convenient.
Yes.
So I was like, they probably could have upped, like maybe talked up the transfer portal thing a little bit before a month away.
Yeah.
Right? They could have been like, oh yeah, this is going to be happening. They could have started promoting that 4 months ago.
For sure.
That it was going to be a thing, but it just kind of seemed abrupt that it's like, oh, okay, this is just opening a door for them to move people to Raw for when it goes to Netflix.
Yeah.
That's all this is. So, and I'm fine with that. That's totally okay. Like, I'm not necessarily hating on that. I was just saying like it was just a little bit more of a poor marketing of it, I guess, maybe. But like the fact that they're doing it, I'm fine with. So.
Yeah. Is there anyone you would like to see moved?
LA Knight.
LA Knight to Raw?
I want to say LA Knight to Raw because
then he could go for the world heavyweight title.
They can push him for a main title that isn't against Cody because of what we talked about last week.
I like that.
I just don't think there's any realistic shot because Cody's wrapped up in so many storylines.
Yeah.
Like, he's still wrapped up in the bloodline no matter what he's got. Like, even when he's not involved in it, he's still involved in it because of the moment him and The Rock had on the Raw after WrestleMania. Like, he's wrapped up in that until him and Rock have a match.
Tied up with KO. That's tied up with Randy Orton whenever he comes back.
Yeah. So he's got a lot of shit going on. So LA Knight's kind of on the back burner in that regard. I would love to see him go to Raw. Because I don't think he's ever been on Raw anyways. Wasn't his roster debut on SmackDown? Has it been on SmackDown the whole time?
Yeah, I think so.
So, yeah, I'd love to see him go to Raw. There's a lot of... Him and Braun Breaker would be a good fucking match.
Hell yeah.
And then just getting to see him potentially and hopefully get pushed for a main card title would be fantastic.
I put a question on here. Which division do you think could benefit from this? And I think the women's division needs a shakeup.
Yes, absolutely.
Raw's is definitely lacking.
Yes,
I
and
would
that
say
shows with the IC.
Yeah,
tournament.
So maybe
right now,
NXT's involved and can bring up some from there as well.
Yeah, that would be sweet.
Because I definitely think after we talked on Raw, the IC tournament definitely it does not compare to the US tournament for the women. Sure. And then I think just the tag team division too, just kind of evening it up a little.
Yeah.
I hope they split up PFC somehow with this transfer portal.
Because that has amounted to jack shit.
And I kind of...
They haven't done anything.
This might be only me thinking it, but breaking up the LWO, I don't see very much benefit to them being together.
We've talked about this before, is that there's multiple factions on Raw that just aren't doing anything.
Yeah.
Like American Made is starting to kind of gain a little traction. The White Six, sure.
Yeah.
And the Judgment, but even the Judgment Day's stale now.
Yeah.
Like the Judgment Day's not doing anything that we were, 3 months ago stoked about.
Yes, exactly.
So, I mean, I could see like most of the people involved in all of those groups could, not the White Six. The White Six, like, they need to stay together.
Yeah.
But, because they just haven't done enough yet with it. But yeah, I think everything else is, like, you could definitely use some shakeups there. So I agree with you 100%.
I doubt it is as big as we want it to be, but it's a good time to do it right before WrestleMania season.
Yeah.
Start getting fresh faces on new shows, so hopefully they can do it. I hope it's just not to pillage everything for the Netflix move,
Yeah.
But that's probably what it is. So
I'm sure that is the point behind it, but hopefully they do it well.
Yes, exactly.
Hopefully they do it right. Because you don't want to just also strip SmackDown.
Yeah.
Of everything and just have SmackDown on USA just be like everyone that didn't make the cut to move to Netflix. You know what I mean? Like, you don't want it to be that, even though I also understand that at the same time. So it's kind of a...
Yeah. Next up, I got the DIY heel turn.
Okay.
And new tag team champions. I thought it was well done. We've talked about it before. There's very similar storylines happening on Raw to SmackDown. This eerily is like the New Day thing, and it happens on the same week too, basically. Yes. So, but no, I really liked how it was done, where it looked like Ciampa was turning on Gargano, and it turned into this whole angle, and they got the win. So I
loved the moment when Gargano says, "Well, that worked great," and tags him in. I was like, "Oh, okay, he was in on this the whole fucking time." So I bet we're gonna get video footage of Gargano being the one that attacked the Street Profits, probably
100%,
or both of them together doing it. But I would love it to have been just Gargano doing it, because that just adds more to the whole story that they built for it. So.
Yes, exactly. But I'm still just really excited for the tag team division on SmackDown, just because it's still looming, this triple threat DIY Street Profits Motor City Machine Guns, which we've talked about, it just kind of gives you these vibes of the Hardys, ENC, and Dudleys. Yeah. So
for sure,
I was really excited about that. The match was killer too.
The match was awesome.
So yeah.
I love that whole thing. I don't really have much more. We just kind of did our whole spiel on it. So, next thing I had was just an interesting backstage moment in passing, and it was very quick.
Yeah.
But Dirty Dom was backstage talking to Nick Aldis last night.
I missed that.
Did you?
Yeah.
I'm trying to remember what moment it was when somebody was walking backstage. Oh, I cannot remember who it was that was walking, but it was walking and the camera panned and Dirty Dom standing there talking to Nick Aldis.
What the hell?
So I was like, what the fuck's that about? And it's not much to talk about because we have zero information, but it's the transfer portal, all that stuff. Could this be a potential Judgment Day is? Because him and Finn have kind of been button heads.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's interesting. I mean, I was talking to you on Raw. I was like, the turn for Dirty Dom is going to be huge.
Oh, yeah. The face turn. Yeah. When he does turn face, it's going to be huge.
Because he's already starting to get a backing.
Yeah. Dude, him versus Gunther.
That match was great.
It was fucking phenomenal. The fans were completely behind. They wanted Dom to win this match.
He had us believing.
Yeah, and there were moments where it was like, what the fuck? Like,
that frog splash?
That frog splash was beautiful.
Oh.
So, yeah, I just wanted to point that out, though, that he was backstage talking to Nick Aldis, and unless... You might have to relook this and fact check me, unless it was somebody completely else I thought looked like Dom, but it looked like Dirty Dom with his beanie talking to... Dirty Dom's a pretty distinguishable character, so if I missed that, I'd be surprised. But yeah, anyways.
All right, Chad Gable. I think he's been doing it all year long, and I'll list the things, but he proves he belongs in that main event. He belongs with the elite. Mm-hmm. He crushed last night. It was an amazing match. Look at this year. He's feuded with Gunther for the IC title in great matches. He has a win technically over Gunther with the count out on Raw. With Sami Zayn, with this match with Cody, with Rey Mysterio, with Dragon Lee. We're talking about Chad Gable a lot this year.
Yeah, and he's putting on fucking clinic after clinic after clinic in the ring.
His work on the mic is great.
Yeah. Last night might have been the best he's ever been on the mic too. Yeah, him going back and forth on the mic against Cody. It was great. It was just a great segment.
And I think I know we've compared him to Kurt Angle, and it's safe to say that. But last night the match felt very Kurt Angle-ish. It was so good. I just can't say enough good things.
Take the boot off, put the ankle lock on multiple, all of it. Yeah, it was very
so good.
Yes,
I predict big things for Chad Gable in 2025 post WrestleMania. I think he's gonna get a big push. That's my prediction.
Not really knowing about the whole transfer portal thing that much, but also. I didn't know that Chad Gable was from Minnesota. I just didn't know that, right? And so, when I heard American Made's music hit, I was like, "What the fuck? What are they doing on SmackDown all of a sudden?" And I was shocked. And then that literally, I almost put on here. It was, why the fuck do we have brand splits if we're gonna constantly be having these crossovers? But then they started talking about the transfer portal, and I was like, okay, fine, I'll let it go.
This is where you were talking about, where a little promotion for it,
would have
gone a long way. But yeah, no, Chad
Gable Cody was the next thing I had, so that was the last thing I had to talk about. It was a fucking great match. The match was fire. It was just like the moment that they were like, yeah, let's fucking fight tonight. I was like, oh, this is gonna be a fucking great main event.
Yeah,
it was like back-to-back episodes of Raw and SmackDown with fucking great main events with Sammy versus Seth, and then Gable versus Cody. It was fucking phenomenal.
Yeah. So, yeah, exactly.
Really, really, really good way to end on a high for both shows.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
That brings us to our banger of the week.
Yeah, dog.
What do you got?
I'm going with the opening segment of Raw.
Okay.
The whole thing, right? Punk starts it. He's in the middle of talking about I know what my future holds, all this stuff. Then burn it down. Seth Rollins comes out, and then they start fucking fighting, and then Jay and Sammy come out to separate them, and Jay gets Punk out, and then Sammy and Seth start fucking going at it. It was just like a 1, 2, 3, 4 type of just build to all these different things.
Yeah.
And there's so much story involved there between all of them. There's so much drama. There's so much everything. And they just fucking shifted from one course to another.
Yeah.
So seamlessly. The whole opening segment to then lead to the main event was fucking perfect.
Yeah.
It was all done so well. And then that's to include then Jay getting attacked backstage and Sammy being 100% dead certain that it was Seth that did it. And then that being a boiling point in the main event. There's the story, the amount of storytelling just from the start of the show to that final moment where Drew McIntyre attacked Sammy.
Yeah.
Was just all around such good build that it set everything up for the Drew McIntyre surprise to be a shocking moment for us. So
this is where rewatching the show will come into play, because there was a lot of talking between Sammy and Seth during the match that we couldn't hear, where he was like, I know it was you, and that's why he grabbed the chair, it's because it was building off that. So it made that match feel even bigger. Rewatching it.
Makes sense.
My banger of the week, it changed because first it was going to be the DIY versus Motor City Machine Guns, but then Cody and Chad followed that up, and
great match.
It was a fucking phenomenal match. That inverted superplex
was fucking insane.
I was just like I said, "Oh my god!" out loud, and Haley was like caught off guard.
I legit thought that, like, as it was happening, and even all the way to Impact, I did not think Gable got turned all the way around. Like, I was like, he just fucking killed Chad Gable.
Super brain buster.
yeah. I was like, oh my god. But then when you like saw the replay, he landed fucking perfectly.
Yeah.
Like to the point where he landed so perfect that it made you question it.
Yeah.
You know, which is the best possible sell ever.
Yes.
Like it's just, and then
the crossroads.
The crossroads.
That's what I had.
He's so good at taking that. He's so good at taking the crossroads and Sister Abigail.
I was going to say
because they're very similar. They're just like inverted moves of each other.
Yeah,
really. And so it's just Chad Gable is fucking amazing.
Yeah.
Sorry, I kind of just hijacked your banger. Of the week there,
no,
Tim.
It's exactly what I wanted to talk about. It was a talking point. I had to put it as my banger just because
it was awesome.
Chad Gable, big things. Big things. Great. All right.
Before we do this,
I was going to say,
we got
candy break.
Round 2. Perfect. So, we have level 1 blueberry coming at us as soon as I find level... Look at me. Look at me.
Look at you.
Look at me.
Look at you.
Look at us. All right. Level 2 blueberry.
Oh.
Ooh, that's 4. I'm not going to do that to you. There you go. There's 3.
We got 3.
There we go. All right. Cheers.
More tingly than hot.
The level 1 blueberry, I don't think is really bad at all. I think the cranberry's worse.
Yeah, this not bad.
Yeah, not bad at all.
Yeah, the cranberry had me wincing a little more.
Yeah.
All right. It's the return of the Triple B game show. We're doing it in the belt section.
Belts.
All right, so I gave you a game a while ago called the Rankum game, and I gave you five things, and you had to rank them 1 through 5.
But I had to do it one at a time, not knowing what the next ones were going to be.
Exactly.
Okay.
This edition is tag team.
Fuck.
So I'm going to give you a name. You're going to give it a number.
Yep.
And then so on and so forth until we go through the 5.
Yes.
So, team number 1, the Usos.
3.
3, okay. Team number 2, Edge and Christian.
Fuck. 2.
Okay.
I know you're going to be a fucking dick with this.
Team number 3, the B team. It was Bo Dallas and Curtis Axel.
5.
All right. Team number 4, Air Boom.
That was that Evan Bourne and Kofi Kingston?
Yep.
4. Fuck you. I already know you're going to give me some bullshit.
Team number 1.
Fucking 5th team.
Is New Age Outlaws.
Okay.
It's not terrible.
It's not terrible. Yeah, I mean, I don't have a choice, obviously. I'll go 1 there. Would I make a change? Yes. I would put New Age Outlaws probably at 3 and then go Edge and Christian and the Usos 1 and 2 out of those 5. If I knew them all from the get-go.
I was trying
I'm not totally upset about my ranking in the end, though. Because I think the New Age Outlaws are definitely a top 10 tag team in the history. Yeah. I would put them. So, yeah.
I wanted to throw you off by thinking I was going to say the Hardy Boys.
I was like, just in case, I'm gonna say. That's why I was like, I'm gonna put the Usos 3 because there are a handful of teams that I would put above them, but they're one of the most decorated tag teams in the history of the business. So.
Yeah. All right. So New Age Outlaws number 1, Edge and Christian 2, Usos 3, Air Boom 4, B Team 5.
I stand by 4 and 5.
Yeah,
that's a good order for those two.
Yeah. I really thought about mixing
You said
them.
the B Team, and I was like, who the fuck is that? And I was already going to say 5 because I don't even know who the fuck that is. And then you said who it was. I was like, yeah, definitely 5. It doesn't matter who the fuck else is on this. Almost they're 5.
Yep.
All right, awesome. I like it.
Belts question of the
Ooh,
week.
that means we got to move on to Strawberry in level 1. Woo. These ones are a little different.
Okay.
All right. A little slimier looking and feeling.
Like Gushers?
Kind
Inside
of.
out?
Kind of, actually. Like, yeah, legit. That's actually a really good... I'm just going to...
Oh, yeah, you weren't kidding.
You see what I mean? Yeah. It's a little more... Okay, you
like
ready?
a slug.
Cheers.
Cheers. Yeah. Okay. I put cranberries as number 1 sour,
Okay.
strawberry, and then blueberry.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I would... Strawberry and cranberry for me are really close.
Yeah.
Blueberry's definitely the least sour for level 1.
Yeah.
All right. Awesome.
All right. Belts question of the week. I came up with this one, and I like this question.
I do too. Yeah.
What are your biggest pet peeves with the world of wrestling?
Yeah. We've talked about a couple of them on a regular basis. And so I'm just going to say those and just get them out of the way. DQ and roll-up finishers. So like interference, DQ finishers, or finishes to matches, and then the roll-up finishers. When they're done well, it's great.
Yeah.
But they are, especially in the last couple months, it feels like it's like 2 to 3 matches per fucking show almost that we're getting some form of this, right? Even on the PLEs, like we're getting some form of it. And again, in certain situations, Bloodline, Judgment Day makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay, that's kind of their shtick. Okay, so totally understand that. But there's so many other moments where this shit's happening too, where it's just like, okay, it's kind of overdone. So that bothers me. The other one that we've talked about before is just the overuse of former and or current finishers, super kicks, spears. Like Bianca hit a fucking spear last night. Like what?
Everyone's hitting them.
What the fuck? So it's like super kicks, spears. That's just not the same thing anymore. And I know there's a handful of others. Like the Samoan drop is used by everybody in the Samoan bloodline, which I guess that makes sense, but it's also like, fuck.
Yeah.
Come up with something new, you know? Yeah. Anyway, so that's those. The other two that we haven't really talked about that much, that I thought of more for this question was the lack of... This one isn't necessarily a pet peeve, but the part that stems from this is the pet peeve. I said the lack of weapon usage. Mm-hmm. Because it just isn't nearly as prominent as it used to be. Yeah. But then the weakness of the weapon usage when it is used. Because it's really across the board, but it definitely fucking shined in the women's WarGames match.
Oh, yeah.
Right? But it is kind of across the board for the most part. Like, a lot of the shots with the stuff are so weak. And I get the whole, you can't do it to the head anymore. I understand that. I get the safety parts to it. But... you can make the other shit sellable and you can do that, and it just doesn't seem like it's happening all that much, like which is kind of disappointing to me. And then the last thing that I said was, this might seem weird with the amount of the things, especially over this last week, that we have seen and been involved with and been able to do live, but just the lack of like straight fucking banger entrance music. There are a handful now, right? There are a few that are just fucking like, let's go. Yeah. You know, Cody, Seth, Jay, CM Punk, Sammy, LA Knight. Yeah. You know, but even LA Knight's music, it's just really like the hit of the LA Knight.
Yeah. And it's more him doing the LA Knight.
Yeah, than his actual music is. Yes. Where I would say those other 5 are like, is really pushed by the music. handful of them, or R-Truth's even is him rapping. Like, that stuff's good. But, like, Roman Reigns' entrance is so underwhelming to me. For being who he is, like, you think he is, like... I'm just thinking back to fucking The Rock, Stone Cold,
it's just immediate
Kurt
impact.
Angle, Triple H,
Yeah,
Shawn Michaels, Taker, Kane, like the Hardy Boys entrance, the Dudley Boys entrance, Christian and Edge's entrance, like so many, and even like Trish Stratus, fucking Lita, like they all had these fucking just fire ass entrances.
Yeah,
that like the second it fucking hit, you were like, whoa, you know. For me, there's still moments where I'm like Roman's music hits, or Solo's music hits, or Nia Jax's music hits, and they all sound very similar.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like, to it, like, you know the difference between them, but they all sound very generically similar.
Yeah,
and there's a lot of entrance themes right now that are like that,
very similar.
Braun Breaker's new music is fucking awesome.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I just think there's something to that,
no,
and I think that it would just be. I would love to get back to the old, like, keep the newness in most aspects, but I would love to get back to the old fucking entrance music days where it was like actual songs being used to fucking set the mood for people coming out.
Yeah. No, I like that.
Yeah,
I like that. I have a few things, but the medical stuff. So I hate when the announcers act like they are doctors and can like diagnose in match. He broke his ribs right there, or something, and like, yes, sometimes it does add to the match, but really, it takes me out of it. I'm like, you're not a doctor, you don't know. And then the wrestler comes out just fine the next week. What happened to their broken ribs, you know? And
or they don't identify anything, like Bianca, and then all of a sudden Bianca comes out with her entire torso KT taped.
Yeah.
Like that, like where then it's the opposite of it, where they don't acknowledge anything happened to her abdomen, and then all of a sudden she's all bandaged up, and you're like, when did that happen?
Yeah.
Like, I understand, like, you went through WarGames, but don't just put a bunch of random bandaging on to just sell the fact that you went through it. Like, have something in the match happen that makes it make sense.
I also hate when, like, wrestlers and the WWE officials are, like, helping load someone onto a stretcher. Like... And I put the slapping the ambulance, and they're closing the doors. It's not
you have zero authority in that situation, in that moment. Don't play it off like because you're the GM, you run all things in life. I agree 100%. Every time that happens, I'm just like,
I roll my eyes so hard. I hate it. I hate the stretcher part where they're like. It's ridiculous. It takes me out of the moment. The other one is just finishers being finishers. Like, I get a big match like WrestleMania, taking down Roman. It is going to take 3 crossroads to do it. That makes sense. But
how many times he has hit 3 crossroads now to finish a match is annoying. Yes, I agree.
And that goes for any finisher.
Yes.
It's just like, and it goes across all the wrestling promotions, where it's just like, what moves are big anymore? I know, like in AEW, Kenny Omega's Fallen Angel, or whatever he calls it, is very well protected. Only one person's ever kicked out of it, I think. Might have to fact check that now. But there's not a lot of moves out there anymore where people are just taking a loss, and that I know we've talked about it. It just takes away from their finisher. What is a finisher then?
When it happens on like a PLE in a big time match, makes sense.
Yes.
But when it's happening week in and week out on a regular basis, that's where it's like, what is the point of a finisher? 100%.
Exactly. So that's what I got for my pet peeves. So
alrighty,
I like it.
That brings us to
Blockbusters!
And that brings us to level 2, Cranberry.
Oh, God.
So, let me find Cranberry. That's bloobs. There it is.
Oh, man.
Is that green or
I was already wincing at the level 1.
Oh, damn, I really taped that bad boy on there. There we go. All right. And so it's the same thing. They just add extra, like, coating and stuff.
Gotcha.
To these ones. Oh, that was quite a bit. Get back in my fingers. Okay.
All right.
Cheers.
Cheers. Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. All right.
Yeah. That
was a good one.
Cranberry.
Yep.
Really
Cranberry really gets you. All right. So, Blockbusters. First portion. This is the fun part. This is where I thought it was gonna be fun because I'm gonna be drooling the entire time through this. 100 years. I actually stumbled upon this. This was not like I wasn't like actively searching for things to put on here. I just happened to stumble upon this and I was like, dude, we have to put this on here and talk about this. I was reading an article talking about who John Malkovich could potentially be playing in Fantastic Four.
Oh, okay.
And that just happened to put this little blurb about when you're like reading something, you're like, we'll have to wait to see what actually ends up happening. But in the meantime, you can catch this person in blah, 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 blah. That type of thing. Well, in this, it said, one movie you won't probably get to see John Malkovich in is a movie he's already filmed.
Oh.
And I was like, what are you talking about? That's how I started reading about it. So this movie is called 100 Years. The movie was announced in November of 2015. It stars and was written by John Malkovich. It's directed by Robert Rodriguez. The release date for this movie, and this was not a typo.
Okay. I'm like...
The release date for this movie is November 18th, 2115.
What the shit?
Okay. And so the film is inspired by the 100 years that it takes to make a bottle of Louis XIII cognac.
Okay.
All right. And so the plot remains a complete secret. However, there was this little blurb that I thought was interesting. It says, pending release, the film is being kept in a high-tech safe behind bulletproof glass that will open automatically on November 18th, 2115, the day of the film's premiere. 1,000 guests from around the world, including Malkovich and Rodriguez, have received a pair of invitation tickets made of metal for the premiere, which they can hand down to their descendants. The safe in which 100 Years is kept was showcased at the 2016 Cannes Film Festival and various other cities before being returned to Cognac, France, and the Louis XIII cellars.
What the hell?
Isn't that a fucking crazy concept?
Yeah.
Like, it's just fucking wild that it's like John Malkovich, Robert Rodriguez, like everybody involved in this will be dead when this happens.
Yeah.
We will be dead when this happens. Like, it's just fucking wild. So I was like, this deserves us a fucking moment for us to talk about this and just kind of... It's fucking crazy.
That's insane.
Like, it takes 100 years to bottle the Louis XIII cognac, which in and of itself is fucking wild.
Yeah.
And what I should have done was looked up how much a bottle of that even costs. I have no fucking idea. I didn't even think to look that up. But the fact that they're doing a movie, or it's a short film, I should specify. It's a short film. But the fact that they're doing this, and there's like no idea what it's actually, like what the actual film is going to showcase or represent or anything, but it's just, it's inspired by how long it takes to make a bottle of that.
That's insane.
That it was announced in November of 2015, and it is then going to be released in November of 2115.
That's so crazy.
That's fucking insane. Like, that's such a cool concept, though. That's going to be like John Malkovich's fucking grandchildren, or maybe great-grandchildren are going to be...
The ones to go
the
see.
ones that go see this movie of their great-grandfather, potentially, in this movie that was filmed 100 years before. That is such a fucking cool idea.
Yeah.
So anyways, I just thought it was totally worth talking about.
Yeah.
And just wanted to put that on there.
Well, damn. We don't even get to
I know.
see a premise of it at all.
We need to create our own little box that our children open that says, watch this movie when it comes out.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. That brings us to our next one, Timmy.
All right.
This is level 2 blueberry. I just ripped the tape off of that one on accident. Oh, that's good enough. So whatever comes out of the pack's what's going in your mouth.
Cheers. Oh yeah, those are way more sour than the one. Oh. There's a level 3 to this?
Yeah, dog. Oh. All right, your turn. What are you waiting for?
I can't read because my eyes are wincing.
Still tastes good, though.
The amateur.
The amateur.
As we mature.
Our relationship matures.
The amateur. The synopsis behind this. It's Charlie Heller, Rami Malek, is a brilliant but deeply introverted decoder for the CIA working out of the basement office at headquarters in Langley, whose life is turned upside down when his wife is killed in a London terrorist attack. When his supervisors refuse to take action, he takes matters into his own hands, embarking on a dangerous trek across the globe to track down those responsible. His intelligence serving as the ultimate weapon for eluding his pursuers and achieving his revenge. Starring Rami Malek, Lawrence Fishburne, John Bernthal, and Catriona Balfe. Director is James Hawes, and this comes out April 11, 2025. The trailer looked awesome. I like all these movies where they're avenging someone, right?
Yeah.
You know, and he doesn't have a lot of field service, obviously. He doesn't got hand-to-hand combat or guns, but he got that tech stuff down, and you kind of see that throughout it.
It's more of the gadget side of things, kind of.
Yeah. I really like Rami Malek. He was in Bohemian Rhapsody, Mr. Robot, so really enjoyed those.
Yeah, never mind. I can't remember the name of the other movie where he was in with Jared Leto and...
oh, yeah. Is that Little Things?
Little Things. Yeah, Little Things. Yep, that's what it was.
John Bernthal, we got The Punisher. Yeah, so... it looks great from the trailers. And,
that looks like we said. I think it's a cool concept because you get so many of these, and we've just recently covered a lot of CIA, type of movies and stuff. But I think it's an interesting concept then, and kind of more unique, where you're getting a less skilled field person, and you're getting this retribution type of revenge story from somebody that's more of like the office person. Yes, exactly. So I think that's a cool way to go about it.
Yeah. It was just, I like in the trailer how he has explosives in the room, and he's like, if you jump fast enough, and then it happened. It kind of reminded me of when in The Dark Knight, when the Joker is he's like, and he kind of like jumps out of surprise. Yep. So yeah, kind of reminded me of that. So
yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
excited.
All right, next batch.
All right. Yep, we got level 2 strawberry coming up, which I believe is this one. Yep, it is. This one's a little less slimy.
Okay.
Because they just get a little more coated with the powder.
The sour powder.
So.
I see what you mean about the salivating, because it was really hard to get through that synopsis.
Yeah. Come on. Where are you? Where are you, you little bitch? Got it? All right. If I can get it up out of the package. Here we go. All right. Cheers.
Cheers. Okay. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that one hits you immediately.
Oh.
That's level 2. All right.
Huh. Last Breath, heart-pounding film that follows seasoned deep-sea divers as they battle the raging elements to rescue their crewmate trapped hundreds of feet below the ocean's surface. Based on a true story, Last Breath is an electrifying story about teamwork and resilience in a race against time to do the impossible. Starring Woody Harrelson, Simu Liu, and Finn Cole. Director is Alex Parkinson, who also directed the documentary about this events, and it was called Last Breath as well. Releases February 28th, 2025. I have a big fear of underwater things.
Like open water like that?
Yeah, and this movie just kind of triggers that, and just just watching the trailer, I felt very tense. And
2 places I never want to go: deep below water and space.
Yeah,
I'm good.
It kind of brought me back to Gravity with Sandra Bullock. That movie was very anxiety driven, just because how quiet, and it's in space, and two of the biggest fears, right?
I've always loved these types of movies and it's not exactly the same vein, but it's like the same, kind of concept idea, like The Guardian with Ashton Kutcher and Kevin Costner. Into the Blue, Deep Blue Sea. Granted, like Deep Blue Sea is more about like shark related, but still, it's just like when you're stranded somewhere trying to survive. Yeah. Right? Like those types of things. Like I would even what was that damn movie called? That was like the war movie with John Cena and Kick-Ass. Aaron, fuck, what, you know who I'm talking about, right? The kid that plays Kick-Ass. He also played Quicksilver.
Oh, yeah.
But anyways, when they're like trapped by a sniper and they don't know where the dude is, like that whole thing, like it's all those movies that's like a very similar concept.
Yeah.
In a completely different genre, almost, right?
Yeah.
And so I just love those types of movies. So it looks fucking fantastic, and fucking Woody Harrelson and Simu Liu.
Yeah, for sure.
So
really excited for that one. I can tell it's just going to be like this edge of your seat movie, and I hear really good things about the documentary, so I want to check that out as well.
When you finally stand up, you're going to hear the of your butthole unpuckering from the chair below you type of thing. Yeah.
Yup.
For sure.
All right.
Well, this next one, before we get to it, got to go level 3 cranberry, Tim. Oh, that's blueberry. I think this one's... Yeah, that's strawberry. So here we go. You like how the packages get darker?
Yeah.
As you move through.
I'm still salivating from the previous 2.
I know, same. And then just the thought of it getting more sour, it just makes it even worse.
Oh, God. Do not give me 5.
No, I didn't.
All right.
Gave you like 4. Well, I gave myself, I think, a little more. So, fuck it, here we go. Once it's in the hand, there's no going back. Oh, fuck. I just did this the other day, and I already forgot how bad it is.
Oh.
Oh. Oh, fuck.
Oh,
that was like immediate heartburn, too.
I tap.
Nope, there's no tapping in this. All right, here we go. American Primeval. I can't even fucking talk. The synopsis for this is America, 1857. Up is down, pain is everywhere. Innocence and tranquility are losing the battle to hatred and fear. Peace is the shrinking minority, and very few possess grace. Even fewer know compassion. There is no safe haven in these brutal lands, and only one goal matters: survival. American Primeval is a fictionalized dramatization and examination of the violent collision of culture, religion, and community as men and women fight and die to keep or control this land. It stars Taylor Kitsch, Dane DeHaan, Betty Gilpin, and Shea Wiggum. And the release date for this is January 9th, 2025 on Netflix. It is a series that is coming out.
That was a movie.
And yeah, so the fucking trailer looked fucking really intense and dope. And I like the kind of like Western type things, or like, you know, like just this type of more colonial time.
Yeah, like, it's like a very timepiece.
Yes, and I've always enjoyed those types of things. So it
was beautiful. Like from the trailer, just like the set and where they're filming. Holy shit! It looks beautiful. Gorgeous, it looks brutal.
Very much so.
I'm really excited for this. I had no idea about it, and
I feel like, and I could be wrong. I could be off base here, but I feel like it kind of looks like it's almost a setup for like a Western Game of Thrones type of feel, where I feel like you're gonna end up like falling in love with a character, and then they're gonna get fucking murdered the next episode. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
that happened all throughout Game of Thrones, where you're like, oh, I fucking love this guy. What the fuck? You know, like that type of thing. So
I really liked the line in the trailer where it was just like, "Why are you guys so violent?" And it was like fear. And I was just like, "Whoa!"
It like kind of sets the tone for the whole fucking the whole thing, right?
Yeah.
So,
looks violent. Kind of gives me like Revenant vibes.
For sure.
From
very similar. Yeah, I was gonna say very similar elements of the actual production.
Yeah,
for sure. Yeah, that's a good pull there, Timmy.
Yeah. No, I had no clue, but now I'm ready to watch because that trailer was intense.
Yes, it looked fucking fantastic. All right. Well,
next bag.
Yeah, let's go level 3 blueberries.
Oh, my mouth is still recovering. Kind of went numb.
I will disclaimer. Lindsay did not make it past the one that we just did. She full-blown tapped after
you said there's no tapping, so
after the level.
Oh God.
Yeah, sorry, they came out quick. I'll give myself, I don't know if that's the same amount or
Cheers.
not, but it's pretty close.
Oh. These put warheads to shame.
Uh-huh.
Oh. Oh.
Oh. I think I'd rather put a warhead up my butthole than have these again. Oh. Butt chug a whole pack of sour Skittle sugar.
All right.
That was hard.
We got...
Oh, my Lord.
The return of Blockbusters. And we chose Top Gun Maverick, the sequel to Top Gun.
Hold on, before we jump into that, once again, Blockbuzzing, because we only do this once a month, essentially, right? So just a little recap, Blockbuzzing, we take a movie that has garnered a lot of buzz around its premiere, around it coming out, production, whatever it is, just something that's kind of been talked about a lot, and... yeah, and then we just kind of watch the movie and we kind of review it and just talk about what we thought of it.
What we liked and whatnot.
So Top Gun Maverick came out in 2022.
Yep.
It's a couple of years old now, but it definitely garnered a lot of buzz. And Timmy, why did it do that?
Why did it? Because it's a follow-up to the smash hit, the 1986 film Top Gun.
Damn right.
36 years later, this movie gets released. The fans and critics loved it. I think it was 96, 99 Rotten Tomatoes and audience score on there. It's
really, really fucking good reviews and everything about this. Which is kind of shocking, honestly, when you get like a sequel, long-awaited sequel for a movie like Top Gun. Like, I feel like typically things don't live up to it, and the fucking the sequel clearly did with the critics and the fans. So.
Yeah. Has all the action and emotion that the first one brought to the table. A lot of great callbacks to the first one. Again, 96 critic score, 99% fan score. What did you think of it?
First off, I loved the cast in it. I thought it was really good. You have Tom Cruise obviously returning as Maverick. You have Jennifer Connelly returning as Penny. You have Val Kilmer returning as Ice. And then you get a handful of new members of the cast, right?
Yeah.
You have Ed Harris as Kane towards the beginning of the film. You get John Hamm as Cyclone. You have fucking Glenn Powell as Hangman. You have why the fuck Miles Teller as Rooster, who is the son of Goose.
Yeah.
Right? And so there's so much just emotion and just tension and drama and everything involved around just the whole storyline, which we don't want to get too into.
Yeah.
Because, we don't want to spoil anything, but the fucking movie was fantastic. Mm-hmm. I kind of put off watching it for a while. This was the first time I'd seen it.
First time for me, too.
Okay, perfect. So I just hadn't watched it. Like, I don't know why. The first Top Gun was fucking awesome, but I've only seen it like maybe twice.
Yeah, I was gonna say
and I haven't seen it in a long time.
I embarrassingly only watched Top Gun 2021 is when I first watched it for the first time.
Yeah.
And then I rewatched it yesterday.
Okay.
But yeah, so 2 times I've seen Top Gun.
Yeah.
Love it. Sequel, phenomenal.
Absolutely amazing. Yeah.
I think they did just the right amount of callbacks to the first one, but built off of it.
Yeah.
It felt like watching the second one, it felt like that first one was leading to a sequel with having Rooster being in this one.
Yeah.
And then Penny was actually not in the first one, but she was brought up in, like, it was just a name drop.
Yeah.
It was
like
just
I said, a long time.
She's the admiral's daughter
yes.
that he
was
brought up. So I just like how it played into that and built into the sequel.
Yeah.
I thought just like the training was more focused in the second one, which I liked more. It was like I know exactly why they're training, what they're doing, and then I liked the mission more at the end of the movie that they went on. Just felt like more stakes at it. So I thought it was well done. I loved the movie.
Yeah, it was fantastic. I was glued to the screen. I started watching it not last night, but the night before. So Thursday night? I started watching it and I had like 30 minutes left. It was right. I had to fucking stop it. Right after Rooster dropped the missile.
Yeah.
Right. In the mission. And so it's like he's doing the pull up and I had to fucking pause it because Lainey woke up.
Oh no.
And I had to go deal with that. And then at that point it was like 10:30 and I was like, I gotta fucking work tomorrow. I gotta get up and go to the gym. I was like, I gotta go to bed.
Yeah.
So I was like, I'll just finish it when I get home. So I finished it yesterday after work, and still, like, even splitting it into 2 different viewing sessions still holds up. It was fucking phenomenal.
Yeah.
So it was awesome. I really enjoyed it. I will go back and watch the first one again. And just probably with a whole new appreciation for it, honestly, because it's been so long for me since I've seen it.
Yeah.
And
yeah, I would say this is probably one of the best sequels.
It was, yeah. I mean, I definitely would not.
Apparently, it was in the works. Like 2010 is what I read was when it was originally starting to get talks going, and then bunch of delays and everything. COVID happened, and that's why it came out in 2022.
Gotcha.
They've already greenlit a third one as of January 2024.
Oh shit! I didn't know that. Sweet.
So it still needs a script and everything, but it's already greenlit for a third one now.
Well, I mean, they set it up pretty perfect to then kind of have, even if say Tom Cruise doesn't return.
Yeah.
But you set it up perfectly to have a continuance of the story with now Rooster and Hangman.
Yeah.
Right,
yeah.
And it's that whole group.
Yeah.
So I mean, there are a bunch of other actors and actresses in that group too.
Yeah.
You know, Lewis Pullman played Bob, and Anthony Ramos was in it, and so there's a bunch of people in it still that you could then follow that group into a whole new mission and training and everything. So,
and I gotta say, I mean, it's kind of a spoiler, but I just love the scene with Maverick and Iceman. When they came face to face and tied in his real life,
Val Kilmer's real life cancer,
illness,
throat cancer and stuff. Yeah.
Thought that was really well done.
Yeah,
very emotional and stuff.
Very emotional for sure.
Movie was great.
Yep, it was
See
fantastic.
why it was buzzing.
Yep, I'm right up there. Up there with it. It's right in the high 90s for me. It's fantastic. It's amazing.
Exactly. So. All right.
Well,
that gives us our last baggie.
Level 3 strawberry. And nice. Tim, there's no other way for us to go out than doing multiple pieces. You know what I mean?
I think there is.
So there's 2 for you.
Of a level 3?
And it feels as though there's 3 left.
Oh. So you could give it to Lindsay. She tapped out.
Nope. I'm gonna go balls deep right now. Okay, cheers.
Oh. Mm-mm. Oh. One was enough. Oh.
What? Are you dying? I swallowed already. Come on.
It looks like you're pooping over there.
Trying not to.
Woo! Oh. All right, that was the worst of the worst. Oh. Yeah.
Ow. Oh, fuck. Okay.
All right. Are you ready to...
Yeah. Blockbusters question of the week.
I posed this.
Sure did.
What is a movie that is technically blockbusted, and what blockbusted is very, very low, lowest of the low scores out there.
Yep.
What is a movie that is technically blockbusted, but you actually love?
Yeah, man, I had the perfect one for this.
So, and then just follow up, give us what the Rotten Tomatoes and audience score was, and then give your own rating.
Yep. All right, so the movie I picked for this is Celtic Pride.
Okay. Never heard of it.
You haven't heard of it?
No.
Okay. You got to watch this movie. Stars Daniel Stern, Marv from Home Alone, Dan Aykroyd, and Damon Wayans.
Okay. Some big names.
I don't have the actual synopsis of the movie. I didn't
we don't
put that down. But just a general idea. Daniel Stern and Dan Aykroyd both play best friends that are huge Celtics fans. Mm-hmm. Damon Wayans is like the point guard for, I want to say it's like the Charlotte Hornets or it's something like that. He's going to Damon Wayans is essentially going to destroy the Celtics in whatever game. Yeah. Daniel Stern and Dan Aykroyd come up with a plan. They get him super drunk and they kidnap him.
Yeah.
And then it's just hilarity and chaos and stuff ensue from there.
Yeah.
So that's the idea of the movie. Critics score 12%.
Oh.
Fan score 32%.
Oh.
So combined 54%.
Ooh.
Not good. Mm-hmm. Not good at all. I love this fucking movie. It has always been one of my I just love it. I think it's fucking hilarious. There's so many moments in it that I can quote, and I sometimes do on a regular basis. And it's just like a kind of nostalgic movie for me as well, because I grew up watching this on a regular basis, and I love it. If I was giving it my own rating, I'd probably give it like a 75. Okay. I'm not stupid. I'm not blind. I'm not an idiot,
Yeah.
I'm not ignorant towards it. I know it's not a fucking masterpiece.
Yeah.
But I think the fucking 12 and 32% is pretty low. I feel like it could be one that if it were to get put on streaming, or it could potentially get like a cult following type thing.
Gotcha.
Because it is actually pretty good, and it's a completely understandable and relatable concept. To where, as fans, we get so invested in these sports and things that we watch that it could, and it has in real life, led people to make really poor decisions. So,
yeah.
But this is a comedy, obviously, where things, it's set up like that. So, but yeah, I love the movie. I would definitely recommend watching it. Nice. I don't know if it's on streaming anywhere. I didn't look that up. I own it. So,
yeah. Do you have a year roughly that it came out in?
I want to say the mid-90s. Let me pull it up real quick.
God, my mouth is still just
96.
Okay.
Yep. That was literally the date that I wanted to say, but I just said mid-90s. I didn't trust myself. Should have gone with my gut. 96. Yep.
Yeah.
All right. What about you?
My movie is Rollerball 2002.
That has hold on, don't tell me. Rollerball. Isn't that like Michelle Rodriguez? No. What am I thinking of? I know what movie you're talking about.
It has Chris Klein, LL Cool J.
Yeah. Okay.
Rebecca Romijn.
LL Cool J.
And the wise man himself, Paul Heyman, has a cameo in it as well. He's an announcer for it, and it is
Rebecca Romijn, right? Like John Stamos' ex.
Yeah,
Rebecca, who played Mystique in the X-Men.
Yeah.
That's right.
It came out in 2002. It is a remake, I want to say. I never saw the original, so
same.
I don't know anything, and maybe that's why it's so low scored. But the critic score, the tomato score, is 3%.
Holy shart.
And the audience score is 14%.
Oh my god.
For a whopping 17%.
Wow.
Now, it's been a long time since I've watched this movie, but I do not think it's that bad. And I remember thoroughly enjoying it in the movie theater and doing several rewatches of it later on.
Okay. I'm gonna throw something out. In 2 weeks, we're doing Blockbusted. Let's watch both of these movies.
Okay.
And let's just do those movies for Blockbusted.
All right.
Why not? Right?
Let's do it.
Neither of us have watched them in forever. So let's watch both of them. So you'll watch Rollerball and Celtic Pride. I'll watch Rollerball and Celtic Pride, and then we'll just talk about them.
Perfect.
That works great.
I like it. I thought the movie was good. Maybe just because it had Paul Heyman in it, I was really excited to see it.
Truth.
He doesn't even have that big of a part, but I just remember the action was pretty cool. The story and premise of it was pretty cool. It's coming out during that time, like Triple X came out. It was just like these new age action films. Absolutely. And so I enjoyed it. I would have, just off of memory, I would give it like a 70 or 68 around there. So I'll be curious to rewatch it and see if my taste has changed. But that was a really low score, and was really shocked to see that.
I would not have expected it to be that low. But there are other movies that have much higher scores, and I'm like, what? You know what I mean? So that's crazy. Holy cow.
All right, brother. All right.
Well, Tim, there's no better way to wrap this up than to do one of each all at the same time.
What?
Come on.
All right.
We got to end it on a high note here.
Yeah, that's what the bourbon's for.
Well, yeah, that's the high note after we do this. It's just one of each. Okay. I'm going to just create a little pile for myself.
A few moments later.
It's all right. 3-second rule. We're good.
We're here to do the graveyard.
Oh, yeah, the graveyard.
Cheers.
Cheers. Oh, fuck.
Oh. Mm-mm.
That wasn't bad for me.
That's pretty bad for me. It's pretty bad for me. Oh, it's beautiful.
Well, they're already on the ground. What level is that? Level 2? Just that was worse than all of them together. What the fuck? All right. My hands are sticky as fuck now.
Mine too.
All right, dude.
Cheers, brother.
Cheers. Episode 27.
Yeah, nice to chase that down.
Oh. There we go.
Let's fucking go.